Hercules Site Services is a technology-enabled labour supply company for the UK infrastructure and construction sectors. Its most recent trading update revealed that it's expecting another record year, with Hercules revenue, adjusted EBITDA and profit before tax to be well ahead of market expectations. I'm delighted to be joined by the founder and chief executive, Brusk Korkmaz. So Brusk, let's start off where it all began, as this is an important scene setter for my audience. You started at home and were essentially living on musicians' wages, your wife's, not yours. So how did you start the business, and what gap in the market did you see?
Thank you so much, Sarah. And you are right. I don't have any musical talent at all. I studied civil engineering at University College London and graduated in 2002. I work for companies such as MJ Gleeson, Black & Veatch, and Hochtief Construction. In 2008, I wanted to open up my business and wanted to have a go at supplying highly skilled labor to construction projects. I borrowed around £10,000 from my parents, and before you ask, I paid it back since then, I promise you, and started the company 16 years ago from a family spare bedroom. My son William was just born then. As you said, my wife is a musician and used to play flute and piccolo for Welsh National Opera. And we had to live on my wife's salary for more than 2 years. As you might be well aware, that musicians don't get paid very well, and they do this work for mainly for passion. So I could not take any salary from the business for 2 years, and it was hard days, but we made it work, right? So I'm glad that we did support each other. We supported the family. Over the last 16 years, we have been growing every year. Now we have over £100 million turnover, employing around 1,700 people. So we are very, very proud of that. That was 16 years ago, and in those days, labor supplied on construction projects by other companies were not very well managed with their skills, logistics, and training. So I decided we needed to do things differently. We took an innovative approach to make it easier for our employees to choose us, and we made it simpler and more cost-effective for our clients to use our services.
Okay, so I'm just thinking, before you were in your spare bedroom, what experience did you have of creating businesses and growing them?
Thank you, Sarah. I was a civil engineer, and this was my first time setting up a business. I worked really hard and still work hard, I promise you, to get the business off the ground and quickly getting some great people on board to support and start growing the business. We built a fantastic team and great client base. When I started the business in 2008, we were in a recession, and some people might think it wasn't the best time to start a business, but I saw it as a great opportunity. While competitors were leaving the market, it was our chance to take the market share. And looking back, it was a brave decision, but it was the right one.
So roll on, 16 years, roll on to 2024. And what solutions does your company provide? What challenges does it solve now?
Thank you, Sarah. We are a technology-driven company supplying both labor and white-collar staff to our blue-chip clients in the infrastructure and construction sectors. We also have a construction services division where we take on the civil projects in the water industry, and we also provide suction excavator hire services. Recently, we launched the Hercules Construction Academy to address the skill and labor shortage in the UK's construction and infrastructure sectors.
I'm just wanting to go back to when you started in 2008. You talked about, it was a time of austerity. I certainly remember it well. But how would you describe the current macroeconomic environment? Is your business economy agnostic and will still prevail even when times are tough?
A great question. As you know, there's a £775 billion earmarked for the investment in the infrastructure and construction sectors over the next 10 plus years. Our focus has been on the key infrastructure projects in different sectors such as water, highways, rail, HS2, nuclear energy, net zero carbon capture, and power and energy projects. We are well positioned for our organic growth with major projects like Sizewell C starting, Net Zero Teesside, Lower Thames Crossing, and A66 projects coming up soon. Our civil projects team specializes in the water sector, which has significant investment with the AMP8 at around 98 billion pounds, more than double the 48 billion pounds of AMP7, which is the current AMP. So we can confidently say that we are well placed to continue growing organically each year.
I know the A66 very well, and it's not my favourite road. And I'm just wondering, can you tell us, are you allowed to name who your clients are? Because I don't know who owns the A66, or I forget which sort of like diocese, which region it's in.
Yeah, sure. As I mentioned earlier, we work for our blue chip clients they normally involve in the government contracts. Some of our key clients are Balfour Beatty, Galliford Try, Costain, Skanska, Anglian Water, Tilbury Douglas, Vinci, Taylor Woodrow, Thames Water, Southern Water, and Severn Trent Water.
So this all sounds exceptionally manual, but right at the beginning, I said that you are tech enabled. Now I know you've got a recruitment app. So, Brusk, what is the uptake? Has there been adoption of the app? Are people using it?
Yes. So we are very different from our competitors. We always think outside the box. In 2019, we developed our app, like you said, it's called Hercules Construction Jobs app to connect local people with local projects. The app has been a great success with over 15,000 downloads. I think it's 15,500 today. I checked it, but over 15,000 downloads. This gives us a valuable data and allows us to provide strategic insights to our clients when it comes to manpower and staffing across the UK.
Okay, so data collection is obviously very important. And you've already referenced the Construction Academy that was started, the ribbon was cut at the beginning of the year. Is the idea to train up your own workforce? So, for example, if they attend your academy, are they expected to do service with Hercules, a bit like the armed forces who put their officers through a university education, for example?
Thank you, Sarah. Our training may not be as intense as military training, but the principle is the same. We aim to provide upskilling and training for both existing workers and new entrants to the industry. What sets us apart is that we offer employment opportunities at the end. So we are not just a training company. We run boot camps and we provide fully funded training for local residents, helping both jobless individuals and young people entering the industry. With the new technology, as an engineer, I really believe that construction is an exciting sector. And we just need to reach more people and tell about our stories, especially to young students, to share our story and for them to have have construction as a first career option rather than ending up in construction.
So what is also exciting are your financials. How well is the business doing, and how are shareholders benefiting directly?
Thank you, Sarah. As I said, we had a record year, another record year. We have been growing every year. Apart from the COVID year, we dropped a bit. But we are expecting to announce our final results in January. I think it's 13th of January, so I'll probably see you then. And based on our trading update, we fully expect to be ahead of our forecast. This will mark another record year for us, with revenue reaching over 105 million pounds. Hitting this 100 million mark threshold is a huge personal milestone for me. Again, I told you about my story starting from a family spare bedroom. I never thought we would be hitting 100 million mark, but we are glad to have this journey, and we are growing and our next aim is 500 million over next 5 years. So that's our aim.
Well, let's hope that you get support from the new government, because there are rumours that new Chancellor Rachel Reeves will raise employer national insurance contributions. Does the company have contingency to cope with this if it becomes law, or would it break Hercules Bank?
Until we know the percentage rise, we don't really have an accurate answer, but this will affect all companies in the UK, not just only Hercules. So we just have to wait until the end of the month.
That's true. I suppose we shouldn't speculate. But finally, it was your idea, this business, your business. Therefore, it's hard to trust others and surround yourselves with a team that shares your vision. So, how would you describe the board and the leadership team, which no doubt you've handpicked?
Thank you, Sarah. Trusting others can be tough, especially when it's your own idea and your own business. But I believe letting go and trusting others is crucial for growth. We have strong, experienced team on board within directors and our senior leadership team. I can always rely on our non-executive directors. They've got amazing experience. So I often talk to them about new advice or running a potential project with them, and we are truly a good team and we work together to move a business forward. Also, raising, just to add like one last thing, if that is okay, raising £8 million recently for our business, by issuing more shares. We are ready to grow more further with potential acquisition opportunities in the labor sector in construction.
And we will end it there. So that could be the next tranche of news. Again, I mustn't speculate, but acquisitions possibly on the horizon. Very exciting indeed. Brusk Korkmaz, founder and chief executive of Hercules Site Services. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate it.